Fortnite's newest update is massive, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, from single button reset on controller, new augments and old augments coming back such as forecast, is brick farming finally fixed, how did they change the map with the newest update, and all the crazy content like double jumping, force pushing and pulling lightsabers, all the crazy stuff that comes out in a Star Wars update. Let's get into it. Let's kick off with the biggest change that has everyone freaking out: single button reset on controller. So in the blog post, Fortnite said this: in version 24.30, an auto confirm edit setting has been added to Fortnite's game settings and replaced confirm edit on release. With this new setting toggled to both, you'll be able to confirm edits and reset edits automatically as opposed to manually confirming edit selections. So this is an attempt to give controller players single button reset, being able to reset an edit with only clicking one button. The only way to currently do this on controller is to use a macro, which is against terms of service. This is obviously trying to equal out the skill gap between controller and mouse and keyboard, because mouse and keyboard has scroll wheel reset that basically resets a wall instantly, but isn't a macro because you're scrolling a wheel. It's doing multiple inputs. Now, the only thing I've heard about this is it's not as optimal. I've made a couple tweets. I've read a lot of tweets out there from really good controller players, and it's looking a little bit iffy right now. It could be better than what it currently has, but it's not going to be as good as scroll wheel reset. It's still a little bit clunky. You still technically have to press 2 buttons instead of 3, so it's not even really single button reset, but it's a step in the right direction. The only other option to be able to have single button reset for controller players, I think, is to add it as an entirely different bind. And if you're on controller, you know what that would mean. That would mean another button, and you guys just don't have enough buttons at this point, pretty much. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. Are you happy about this change? Do you think it could have been better? Are you going to use it, or do you think it's not really going to change anything? Now let's talk augments. They're bringing back 4 old augments and 4 new augments. Now I'm going to talk about the old augments first, because they brought back some of the strongest augments in the game, and they're in competitive. We have First Assault, which if you guys remember means your first AR bullet does more damage, Bush Warrior, Forecast, and Mythic Munition, giving you a mythic pistol. These are like 4 of the best augments for competitive, and they are back in the game and they're in competitive. This already alone is massively going to change the meta coming into Surge Week and Grand Finals. And then we also have 4 new augments. These ones aren't going to have as big of an impact in my opinion. We have Tracker's Armory, grants a flare gun and Shadow Tracker pistol. Desperate Reload, your pistols will reload faster when reloaded with an empty clip. Steady Hands, your marksman rifle have reduced recoil. If that's heavily reduced recoil, like you can use a DMR and just shoot it dead straight, that could be crazy for getting surge tags. Remember back in the day, like way back in mid chapter 2, when we had like the VSS like suppressed sniper thing that shot really fast? That gun was terrible, except for if you were shooting a target standing dead still for surge, because you could just like quad dink them in half a second and they would instantly die. So that one could be interesting to look out for. Then we have SMG sign off. The last 3 bullets of your SMG magazines will deal bonus damage. Now, the big one. How many weeks is it going to take $1 billion company to make it so that if I farm a brick, I'm going to get more than 10 brick? It's still not fixed. It's kind of fixed. It's half fixed. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Some bricks will give you the right amount of brick when you farm it. They won't break when you build on them, but then some of them are just like they have been for the last few weeks, which is glitched. You'll break a big brick and you'll get like 30. So at this point, you just have to hope that the bricks around your drop spot are fixed and not the other ones. I really don't know what to say at this point. I don't understand how it's so hard to fix this issue. I'm not a software engineer. There has to be something that's making this so difficult, or we're just a social experiment at this point and Epic just enjoys messing with us, because the brick is like half fixed now. As far as map changes, especially in competitive, there's not a great deal that's changed. The new Star Wars like kind of mini POI pods around the map, they don't really have anything in them in competitive, but they do have a lot of metal, and that is going to be a massive change for certain POIs. For example, these ones around Citadel are the only real metal in the area, and now you have that just added to the game before Surge Week and before Grand Finals. So hopefully your drop spot just got blessed. But because a lot of the items for the Star Wars update aren't in competitive, it's not really adding that much loot. It's mostly just material. Now, I've kept this video mostly focused around competitive, but there are some huge changes to just regular Fortnite and public matches. You now have 3 different characters from Star Wars that you can choose to be chosen by. If they choose you, you get different force powers. You can throw things, you can double jump, you can sprint faster, you can pull things towards you. There is an entire like battle pass system now for this Star Wars update. You're gonna get a whole bunch of cool cosmetics and things like that. You now have DC-15 blasters you can find around the map in different chests. It does look like a really serious content update. I think there is going to be a lot of fun for content creators here and casuals playing public matches. Obviously, all those crazy force pushing and double jumping has not made its way into competitive, but it looks really, really fun. This update would have taken a lot of effort.